Night settled over New York like a dark curtain, but inside Sterling Tower, not a single light was turned off. The Sterling family had declared a state of emergency. Every employee was questioned. Every security camera was reviewed. Every computer was inspected. Yet the mysterious woman had vanished without leaving a trace. Richard Sterling stood before the massive windows of his office, watching the rain fall over the city. Without turning around, he spoke. "Bring him in." A few moments later, an elderly man entered the office. His name was Arthur Kane. For more than 30 years, he had served as the Sterling family's personal attorney. He knew every secret, every hidden account, and every crime that had built the empire. Richard looked directly into his eyes. "The Hale girl is alive." Arthur's face turned pale. "That's impossible." "It should have been," Richard replied coldly. "But someone made a mistake." Richard stepped closer. "I want to know who." Across the city, Victoria sat inside her operations room, studying another encrypted file. It contained thousands of emails exchanged between Sterling executives. Most were ordinary, but one message caught her attention. It had been sent only 2 days before the cyber attack. The sender's identity was hidden. The message contained only one sentence. "Someone inside the family is helping Victoria Hale." Noah frowned. "Do you think it's fake?" Victoria slowly shook her head. "No, this is real." She leaned back in her chair. "If someone inside the Sterling family is secretly helping us, then this war is about to become much more dangerous." At that same moment, inside Sterling Tower, Sophia quietly entered the company archives. She unlocked a cabinet marked confidential. Hidden beneath dozens of old files was a sealed envelope labeled HALE as she broke the seal. Inside were police reports, financial records, and photographs from the fire 10 years ago. Then she found one final document. It was signed by Richard Sterling himself. At the bottom of the page were the chilling words: "Operation Ashes. Eliminate the Hale family. Leave no witnesses." Sophia's heart stopped. The truth was finally in front of her. Her own father had ordered the murders. Outside the archive room, a shadow moved silently in the hallway. Someone had seen Sophia open the file, and someone was already reaching for a gun. The hunt had entered a deadly new phase. Sophia's hands trembled as she stared at the document. The words burned into her mind. Operation Ashes. Eliminate the Hale family. Leave no witnesses. She could hardly breathe. Everything she had believed about her father was a lie. A sudden creak echoed from the hallway. Sophia looked up. The archive room door slowly opened. A masked man stepped inside, dressed entirely in black. A silenced pistol rested in his gloved hand. "You've seen something you shouldn't have," he said coldly. Sophia backed away. "Who are you?" The man didn't answer. Instead, he raised the gun. Just as he pulled the trigger, bang! The bullet shattered a glass cabinet inches from Sophia's head. She threw herself behind a metal shelf as more shots echoed through the room. Documents flew into the air. Glass exploded across the floor. Sophia reached for the emergency alarm. Before she could press it, the masked man rushed toward her. Suddenly, another gunshot rang out from the hallway. The attacker froze. A security guard had arrived after hearing the noise. The masked man cursed under his breath, tossed a smoke grenade onto the floor, and disappeared into the thick gray cloud. He was gone. Only the bullet casings remained. Far across the city, Victoria's encrypted phone vibrated. Noah looked at the incoming message. Someone just tried to kill Sophia. Victoria remained silent for several seconds. Then she whispered, "So, someone inside the Sterling Empire is cleaning up loose ends." Noah frowned. "Should we help her?" Victoria walked to the window, overlooking the city lights. "I don't trust her. But I don't want her dead. Not yet." Meanwhile, inside Sterling Tower, Richard rushed into the archive room. Sophia was sitting on the floor, surrounded by shattered glass and scattered files. She looked directly into her father's eyes. "Did you order the murder of the Hale family?" The room fell silent. Richard didn't answer. His silence was louder than any confession. Sophia slowly stood, tears filling her eyes. "I spent my entire life believing you were building an empire." She took a step back. "But all you built was a kingdom of blood." Without another word, she walked away. Richard remained alone in the ruined archive room. For the first time in decades, he realized his greatest enemy might no longer be Victoria Hale. It might be his own family. The rain poured over New York as Sophia Sterling drove through the empty streets with only one thought in her mind. Her father was a murderer. The empire she had spent her life protecting had been built on innocent blood. She could no longer pretend otherwise. Inside Sterling Tower, Richard called an emergency meeting. Marcus, Ethan, Arthur Kane, and the heads of security gathered around the conference table. Richard's voice was colder than ever. "Find Victoria Hale. I don't care what it costs. Before sunrise, I want her dead." No one argued. Everyone understood that Victoria studied dozens of monitors inside her hidden operations room. Noah suddenly looked up. "We've intercepted a call. The Sterlings have placed a bounty on you." Victoria remained calm. "They're running out of options. When powerful people become desperate, they make mistakes." Just then, one of the monitors flashed. A black SUV had stopped outside the building. Victoria reached for her pistol. Noah turned off every light in the room. Footsteps echoed through the hallway. 1, 2, 3. Someone knocked on the steel door. Victoria quietly moved into position. "Who is it?" Noah asked. A familiar voice answered. "My name is Sophia Sterling. I need to speak with Victoria Hale." Silence filled the room. Noah looked at Victoria. "It's probably a trap." Victoria slowly unlocked the door, but kept her pistol hidden behind her back. The door opened. Sophia stood alone. She wasn't carrying any weapon, only a thick, confidential file. She placed it on the table. "I know who killed your family," she said softly. Victoria's eyes never left hers. "I've always known." Sophia shook her head. "No. You know who gave the order, but you don't know who actually set the fire." Victoria's expression changed for the first time. Sophia opened the file. Inside was a photograph of a man with a scar across his left cheek. His name was Victor Cross, a former military operative, the assassin who had personally carried out Operation Ashes. "He didn't die," Sophia whispered. "He's still alive." Victoria stared at the photograph. The man she had searched for over 10 years was finally within reach. She closed the file and looked directly at Sophia. "Why are you helping me?" Sophia answered without hesitation. "Because I refuse to protect the darkness across the street. a sniper slowly aimed his rifle at the apartment window. A finger tightened around the trigger. Someone had followed Sophia, and they were about to make sure neither woman survived the night. The sniper lay motionless on the rooftop across the street. Rain dripped from the barrel of his rifle as he looked through the scope. Inside the apartment, Victoria Hale and Sophia Sterling stood only a few feet apart, unaware that a red crosshair rested on the window behind them. The sniper received a message through his earpiece. 2 targets. No mistakes. He whispered one word. Understood. His fingers slowly tightened on the trigger. At that exact moment, Noah noticed a strange reflection in one of the security cameras facing the opposite rooftop. He zoomed in. A flash of metal. A rifle. His eyes widened. Victoria! Get down! Bang! The bullet exploded through the apartment window, sending glass flying across the room.
Victoria reacted instantly.
She grabbed Sophia and pulled her behind a concrete wall as another shot tore through the office. The sniper fired again. And again. Each bullet shattered furniture and computer screens. Noah activated the building's emergency shutters. Heavy steel panels slammed over the windows just as another round struck the glass. The room fell into darkness. Outside, the sniper cursed. His targets had disappeared. Victoria checked Sophia for injuries. A small cut on her forehead bled from the flying glass. Nothing more. We have to move, Victoria said. Noah opened a hidden door behind a bookshelf. A narrow staircase led deep beneath the building. Follow me. The 3 of them disappeared underground only seconds before armed men stormed into the apartment. The attackers searched every room. Empty. Their leader clenched his fists. New York. Victoria led Sophia through an abandoned subway tunnel that had been converted into a secret escape route years earlier. Sophia looked around in disbelief. You planned all this? Victoria kept walking. I planned for every possibility. After several minutes, they reached another hidden safe house. Noah switched on the lights. Dozens of maps covered the walls. Photographs. Weapons. Evidence. Every step of Victoria's 10-year mission was displayed like pieces of a giant puzzle. Sophia slowly realized the truth. This isn't revenge anymore, she whispered. It's a war. Victoria looked directly into her eyes.
No.
Wars end when one side surrenders. She picked up Victor Cross's photograph and placed it on the table. This ends when every person responsible for my family's murder faces justice. Outside, the sniper watched smoke rise from the abandoned apartment. He smiled beneath his hood. His mission had failed. But now he knew one thing. Victoria Hale was no longer hiding. The hunt had truly begun.